We have one of the veterans with no criminal record, honorably discharged with no mental records, who was kidnapped by the government, kept in a facility for 2 days while his guns were taken, and charged for being put in the hospital out of the clear blue sky. Going to our guest here, he'll be with us till about 45 after, David Schmecker, honorably discharged, disabled U.S. Navy veteran from Connecticut with no criminal record and no psychiatric history. David Schmecker, thank you for joining us.
Yes, no problem. Yes, I requested to see a pain management specialist, and they came back to me, the Veterans Administration came back to me and said that you have to see a half hour of a psychiatrist and a half hour of a psychologist for a spine injury. And I refuse to do that because I have a spine injury. I don't really, I don't want to see, especially not a veterans hospital psychiatrist.
No, they've always used psychiatrists in the military and authoritarian systems to demonize. There were famous cases in World War II of fuel tanks breaking on a particular bomber, and all the captains that were the pilots were issued rulings that they had psychosis, saying that the fuel tanks were dumping the fuel on their own. And it came out in Congress that they were ordered to give them that designation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I refused, and 6 months later, basically the hospital, my primary care physician called to have a wellness check placed on me, and the local police perform a wellness check. Well, the local police came up, and there was nothing wrong with me. I had no, there was no anxiety. I wasn't combative. I basically, but I wasn't with anybody, so I had no witnesses, and they didn't have a warrant, and they, through intimidation, forcefully commandeered my vehicle and entered my home, searched and seized my weapons, and then, carted me away in an ambulance to psychiatric evaluation, which I was held for 72 hours.
Yeah, no judge, no jury, no nothing, no history, no probable cause. The police come with no warrant and drag you off. And describe what happened there in the facility.
Well, in the facility, it was really tough because you had to be very careful of what you said. I was under constant fear I wasn't going to get out of there, and they were basically letting me know that if I...
Oh, yeah, all the veterans that have told me if they can't make you mad, they'll come in at the last moment and go, I'm now having you committed for life.
Yeah. There's
nothing you can do to stop me. And they laugh at you, trying to get you to respond. And it's a final deal in psych warfare. I haven't talked to you yet, except for a minute before you went on air. I haven't asked you this. Did they do that to you?
Oh, absolutely. It was a total good cop, bad cop mind trip. And they put drugs in me and stuff. So, so there was a...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's not even in our article. They're now drugging you. Oh, my gosh. What did they give you? What did they do?
I don't even know what it is called. I didn't want to. I was flushing. The first time I was flushing it down the toilet until I realized if I didn't start taking it, they would know, So,
what did it do to you?
What did it do? Nothing. Nothing. To me, all it did was
They probably gave you Halcyon, which is basically a so-called truth serum. It'll make you can say you're a murderer. Yes, I'm a murderer. It's not really truth serum. It just makes you, listen, my dad gives it to patients so they don't remember getting their wisdom teeth pulled out. I mean, you could walk in dressed up in an Easter Bunny outfit, they wouldn't remember it. And you could tell them, say you're a murderer, and they'll say, I'm a murderer. Yeah. I mean, what color were the pills?
Oh, they were little white, like oblong type of pills. They blurred reality. I didn't need to have them, and I didn't want to have my reality blurred.
Folks, what you're hearing is mega, massive, ultra all veterans should be banding together. By the way, this is happening everywhere, and everyone's getting the wellness check, and all these veterans with their own businesses, kids, totally successful. The cops now are having this happen who are veterans. You're going in to see the psychiatrist, and if you don't have a use for them, they're disbanding you. Keep going.
Well, I just basically was walking on eggshells all the time there, and I just wanted to get out really quick. And so I just did whatever they wanted me to do, say whatever they wanted me to say, and made that 72 hours, be my last 72 hours.
Oh, wait a minute. So under duress and under drugging, like you were shot down over North Korea or North Vietnam, you told them what they wanted to hear so they'd quit drugging you. I mean, that's like when they said they were going to drug the so-called Colorado shooter so he'd tell the truth. Sir, you were actually in a prisoner of war Soviet-style brainwashing camp. I didn't know. Man, this country is so far gone. Start from the beginning. Describe what happened when you got there. What did they say you had to say to get out? I mean, describe it all. You got the floor. David?
They didn't really say I had to say anything. There was, people that were my roommate, in that room, which was, they were telling me, this person here is good. This person here, watch out for this person. And, watch out what you say, because if you don't, play their game, you're not getting out of here. And you're going to be put in a rubber room. And there were guys there that didn't get out of there. There were guys there that were there for years.
They took Ernest Hemingway, who won a Nobel Prize. They took him because he said the FBI was tapping his phone and harassing him. It was later declassified they were. And they electroshocked his beautiful mind into nothingness. My God, these people are evil. Keep going.
So I just got out of there, and I lived to fight another day. Basically, I didn't resist against the police like I maybe should have. But honest to God, had I resisted, I would have been beat up. I would have been put in the emergency room first, and then possibly even the morgue. So I didn't resist. They had no warrant. I had no witnesses. I saw what was coming down on me. I had to think. I thought I had like a chess player, and I realized I could, get out of this a little bit less, even though it was horrible, I could get out of it without getting hurt, and maybe even...
Sure. I mean, it's like under the Spanish Inquisition or something, or the French Inquisition. They take you down to the dungeon, and they show you a guy hanging up by his, by his ankles with burns all over him, mumbling, and they say, listen, we're going to start torturing you, then we're going to cut your fingers off. Say that you are consorting with the devil. And it was always somebody who had land or that somebody wanted your wife. And then they take your wife in there and start raping her in front of you. They're really the devil worshippers. That's what later came out. And that's just how it works. And this is the new America. They take you in their facility. I've talked to so many vets, and it's come out. Well, I mean, I talked to Rob, who would happen to the Marine Corps guy that criticized Obama mildly, so the police SWAT team raided him. And they walked in the last day and said, well, this is it. You're not getting out. I'm having you committed. And he didn't get mad. He was smart, and they got so angry. It was all being videotaped, messing with you. And again, they're the same type of dungeon keepers that are CPS. They love dominating and abusing people. These are the type that engage in real dungeon keeping. Listen, have you talked to other veterans? Because they're all getting the wellness check letter. And when you get there, they don't tell you they're about to take your guns. And they go, oh, just see the psychiatrist for 30 minutes. And it's like, well, you ever feeling down? Yeah, doc, I've got cancer. I've been pretty depressed. Oh, your guns are gone. My back's hurt. I've also talked to vets, and I've seen the news articles where they're depressed over their leg being blown off. I mean, and it's a figure of speech. Yeah, I'm bummed out about it. Oh, your kids are gone. We say you and your wife aren't up to doing this. I mean, why do you think they're targeting veterans?
Yeah, I didn't get the letter. They used a loophole because I wouldn't play along with them. I saw this coming ahead of time. So I wasn't going to play their game, so they used a loophole. They were going to get their way. And they did, and I've since I was let out of there under my own recognizance, 72 hours after the fact, I've been battling this in the court of law, and even they made a decision. The court made a decision that my weapons should be returned to another person who has a pistol, because they confiscated my permit too. So I no longer have a pistol permit. I had it for 6 years. But anyway, so the law was handed down that the guns had to be returned to another person who had a pistol permit, and they should be done, within 10 days. All the paperwork was signed by the judge, and the police department will not even go along.
Well, of course, they sell it out the back door. They always get caught doing it. But listen, the larger issue. No, they come to people now and say, "I'm going to take your guns and sell them." They do it on Discovery Channel. A veteran's died. He's been dead 4 days of a heart attack. They make fun of his dead body on Inside the LAPD, and then steal his guns in front of everyone to break our will. Just like they burned down Dorner's cabin in front of everyone and said we burned it down, and then said we didn't burn it down. But expanding on that, so they've totally railroaded you into signing your rights away. That's how they got you. Same way they railroad folks into giving their kids up. People say, well, how do they take your kid for not taking vaccines? They railroad and say, you'll get your kid back, sign this, and you've actually signed an agreement saying you've abused your children so they can take them. It's all fraud. These are criminal networks. I mean, these are real words I'm saying here. Yeah. And so now they won't give you your guns back, even though there's a judge's order. Of course, I mean, it's already involved in a criminal action. Why not be more criminal? How many guns do they have?
Well, they have 3 of my guns, but while I was at that hospital, I never signed a paper. I knew that this was all wrong, and they were complicit.
Okay, so you didn't sign the paper. Why don't you come to Texas? Why didn't everybody just leave New York and Connecticut and all these places? I mean, this needs to be like an exodus, ladies and gentlemen.
I am right there. Believe me.
I'm telling you, get out of California, and I'm on the radio in California. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I mean, I would live somewhere like Santa Cruz, where we're on the radio, if they didn't arrest surfers who get too close to whales. I talk to locals. I mean, it's just all about getting us in the system. Man, what is wrong with the Connecticut police up there?
It's not every Connecticut police. But
doesn't matter, though. They still follow. It wasn't every Nazi officer either.
Right. But this town, I've heard that has got a lot of corruption in this town. I've talked to other people that this similar thing has happened to. So, by going public here, it reached a lot of people that I would not necessarily have reached before, Well, here's the deal. Anybody that wants the Bill of Rights and Constitution, is welcome here. Dave Mustaine was asking, am I welcome to come to Texas? Because I know people don't like Californians around here. It's not that we don't like Californians. They come here and walk up in the grocery store and say, you shouldn't have 3 kids. And they're not Californians. They're Soviet globalist eugenicists cult members. And I'm like, you've already wrecked your other beautiful state. Now you're here telling me my truck's too big. Leave me alone. So there it is. In Madison, Connecticut, a sprawling exercise in police corruption. Even the New York Times says you're incredibly corrupt where you live. Naugatuck, Connecticut.
No, I know, but this is a nearby area, yeah. So what's going on there?
What's going on? Where? With what?
I mean, why is it so corrupt? I guess the mafia, like Snoop Dogg, wants everybody's guns. He's an admitted, I guess criminals of every type. And that makes sense. Want good people's guns. Of course they do.
Yeah, I think this is a campaign going across the country. I've heard from a lot of veterans, and they are telling me horror stories, very similar to mine, including Brandon Robb. I haven't heard from him, but, that was a shocking story. So, he was held for much longer than I was, and that must have been terrifying, because that was the most terrifying aspect of the whole thing.
Let's go back to David Schmecker. David, you've got the floor. Break down what's happened to you.
Well, basically, that's what they're doing, Alex. They're coming into your house, and they're taking your guns. I don't keep my guns in a bank. You know what I mean? I have a safe. I keep my guns in a nice safe in my house.
What did the cops do? Describe it.
Well, they basically very, very intimidating. They were very, very intimidating. Both of them had guns. I had zero. I had no weapons on me, no witnesses. I was telling them, hey, everything's fine. I even went down to the police station prior. See, they came to my house when I was at home. I looked on my caller ID, saw that the police had called. I told them, I'll come down and show you everything's fine. I went down to the police station. I waited in the lobby. No one came out to meet me. So I returned home, called them and said, listen, I was just down there. No one came out into the lobby. They said, yeah, we still want to perform a wellness check. So that's when they came up to my, basically to my street. I was waiting at the end of my street for them. They wouldn't.
Notice kidnapping you is called a wellness check. The Patriot Act, spying on you without warrants, is called the Patriot Act. Drugging half the school children is called New Freedom Initiative. Notice all this evil has Orwellian names. Go ahead.
Well, that's what they did. They wouldn't let me in my vehicle. I was going to go in my vehicle and say, okay, everything's fine. I'll see you later. They would not even hear anything like that. They didn't even hear anything I had to say. This was already predetermined. They were going to do what they were going to do no matter what.
And tell people the name of the town. Tell people the town you live in.
I live in Naugatuck, Connecticut.
Continue.
You know, they were going to do whatever they were going to do regardless. Unless maybe if I had some witnesses around me, it might have gone a little different, but I was a soft target. And they knew that. This was all pre-planned.
No, it's all criminal. It's a criminal conspiracy hiding in plain view. It has a name. It's called Tyrannus. California seizes guns of owners lose right to keep arms. And then it just goes to say, they go in, you see a medical doctor, you name it, you say you have a fight with your wife, your guns are gone. When the doctor's like, how's your life going, Bob? Oh, it's going good. You know, my wife's been throwing fits and stuff. Oh, your guns are all gone. Again, the whole state, the whole system are spies. Continue. What'd they do in your house?
They came into my house. 2 police officers came into my house, rifled through each room, looking underneath things and between items and everything like that, looking for some kind of contraband they could get me on. Then they told me that I needed to hand over the guns I had in my house. I told them they were in my safe. They said, well, let us in your safe. We're going to take them. I said, my safe is locked. They said, well, you must open it or we're going to bust it open. And
I would have said, go ahead and break it open, criminals. You're giving me unlawful orders.
Yeah, you know, I told them all the way there. Every second of the way I was, you know, not going along with it willingly. I was telling them, this is all totally against the law. You don't have a warrant to do this. There's no due process. I mean, I don't even know where you're coming from. How can you possibly imagine you could get away with this? And they weren't even afraid.
And again, notice they worship veterans on TV everywhere while they're attacking you. See, that's how PSYOPs work. Veterans are God. Veterans are the king. Join the military so we can guinea pig you and put DU on you. And then take your rights away after you've been in the military. And again, it's not military doing the mass shootings either. They're literally saying a group of people is bad, but it's not the Jews like Nazi Germany. It's the veterans. And the cops love going after veterans now. Unbelievable. Keep going.
So I opened the safe for them, and they took my stuff. They thanked me for being such a trooper, for making their job so
Yeah, that's
easy.
a PSYOP. That's like, you know, thanking somebody you put in a ditch in Nazi Germany. Thank you for... I saw the Nazi Germany film reels. The people would nod and bow politely to the Nazis, and they would politely, thank you. Get in there with your kids. I'm going to mow you down. Thanks for being such a sport about this. Keep going.
Yeah, wait till they take your guns away from you. As soon as society has their guns forcefully taken away, piece by piece, person by person, they whittle away. In 1 hour, they're going to go after your money.
Oh, that's already started. Oh, they've already announced in congressional hearings they're taking the pension funds for safekeeping, though. Safekeeping, David. And I love how it goes to like mega banker gangsters. Private people are getting the Europeans' money they're looting. How's that sound?
Yeah. Well, I'm fighting this in, I have a great attorney team, a private investigator and an attorney team, and they are gun rights champions. Tell us about them.
Tell us about them.
Well, they're probably the best attorneys I could have possibly found. One of them is an NRA instructor, and he's a gun rights attorney.
Yeah, you need to sue the cops personally for official oppression. They violated all sorts of stuff. I don't care if they were given orders. You need to savage them with civil rights lawsuits, everything.
That's going to happen. I'm not stopping until I see...
Hey, everyone needs to sue them. We need to get aggressive. They are kidnapping veterans outside of law. I don't care if they're a criminal gang and their mob boss told them to do it. It doesn't make it okay because Don Corleone told you so, just because he's wearing a blue uniform.
Right. But first, what I have to do is I have to pursue getting my guns back and my pistol permit reinstated. Once that's, because this is going to it's going to happen because they didn't have a warrant. Everything was warrantless. Everything was going to be, null and void.
And you have to have them refuse to do that first.
Right. So
and then they're going to refuse to do that. They're going to violate more of the law.
Right. I mean, I could possibly never get my weapons back.
Oh, there's the headline. U.S. taps pension funds to avoid passing debt limit. Folks, your pensions are already gone. That's the good part. All these cops, your whole future's destroyed, and you did it. We don't have to do anything.
I know. That's the funny part. It's not funny, but...
Oh, it is. It's good. Hey, cops, give your kids some more vaccines. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying they're doing it to themselves. I mean...
Oh, they will.
Yeah, they're doing it to themselves.
They love it. They love it. They're in charge now. Anyways, what do you make of all the TV shows demonizing veterans, both news and the dramas? The veteran is the worst person on earth now.
I don't watch TV. I'm sorry.
But I mean, have you heard about Homeland Security saying veterans are the new Al Qaeda?
You know, I don't watch the mainstream media.
What do you think about Homeland Security buying billions of bullets?
Oh, I know about that. That's a scary thing. I mean, I tell you what. I walk through my town my whole life. I'm 50 years old. I've never seen a terrorist in my town. You know?
By the way, we looked you up. You have no criminal record, honorably discharged from the Navy, business guy, great guy in the community. That's why they hate you. You understand? If you were a criminal, you'd be fine.
I know.
What are the other veterans you know saying about this?
Oh, they want to help me and try to band together.
Yeah, you need to remove that city council and fire that police chief. You need to start a recall of the police chief. Okay, that's how you get aggressive. Okay? You need to follow the police, show them with hookers. It's called politically destroying them. David Schmecker, we go to break here in just a moment. I'm going to keep you 5 more minutes, but we'll follow your case. And your email's up on screen for people that want to contact you. You were saying you wanted your email out. I mean, are you wanting people's support, or do you want people to contact you?
Yes, they can contact me, and, I'm not going to turn away any support, but, it's not my message. My message, it has to be in context. This is to get the alarm out.
No, I think people should flood you with money, and I'm sure your lawyers are great, but, I mean, we got lawyers and no lawyers that playing games is they hit them with civil rights suits, federal suits, injunctions, state court, federal court. I'd launch maybe 15 lawsuits on them. And believe me, those torpedoes are going to hit. So it's like they charge you with a bunch of stuff. You've got real charges on them. Just wreck them hard. Okay, ahead of Civil War, we better get them back in their place real quick. Stay there. I want to hear from you. We'll give your email address out for everybody as well. All right? They are now kidnapping veterans and taking their guns. David Schmecker, honorably discharged, disabled, U.S. Navy veteran from Connecticut. He had a back problem, so they took his guns. No criminal record and no psychiatric history. Did Schmecker ever come back? Oh, he did. Great, thank you. Okay, David, we only got a minute or 2 left. Any other points you'd like to add to this saga? We'll obviously check back in with you, and you want to give out your email address verbally for radio listeners, that'd be good.
Sure. My email address is diamondzNrust@att.net. I have an interview this afternoon with Citizens Civil Liberty Union International. They are up in arms about how this crime is being committed against people, forced psych evals without any due process, to take their rights away. So I've also had an interview with We Are Change Connecticut, and George for Title has been a wonderful help getting the word out. And Alex, a woman Frida said hello.
Well, that's great. Yeah, there are so many wonderful liberty lovers out there that are, really came out of this show that I'm so honored to be associated with. And these are the times that try men's souls. And we need to stand with you. Folks need to stand with us because, folks, the globalists have my phones tapped. They follow me. They know they've got my juvenile records. They know who I am. They know I'm for real. And they don't want to kill me because it'll turn me into a martyr, but they're trying to kill my name right now in the media. And so I need people's support as well. I mean, this is serious. And I just had a huge epiphany that we're already in a civil war. We've got authoritarians that have hijacked Washington, waging war against the Bill of Rights, the people, veterans, and the states, and demonizing us everywhere ahead of a big offensive. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
David, when you were in the Navy for 5 years, did you ever imagine this would happen in America with Soviet-style secret police, psych ward police coming after you?
Never. I thought I lived in a free country. This is really scared the bejesus out of me.
We just got another Ghostbusters quote there in one segment. That is good luck. All right, sir, we'll talk to you soon. And people, we tend to be restrained about civil rights violations. If you don't get really aggressive and get those cops out of there and get that police chief out of there, they're going to win, okay? If they can get our guns, they're going to take our bank accounts. Oh, by the way, they're taking veterans' kids that are disabled now. God bless you, David. Your calls are coming up.
Well, there's new outrage after a former Marine is arrested and involuntarily detained in a psychiatric ward for posting some anti-government messages on Facebook. Several civil rights groups in Virginia are now saying that the police violated the First Amendment rights of this 26-year-old veteran.